Hi guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. And today we're gonna look at another palette bingo, this time with my Oden's eye palettes. It's the same concept that I made a while ago. It's the same concept that I made a video about not that long ago. And I've already made one video with these palettes from Oden's eye, so this is just like a part 2. And I'm gonna do one look with them in kind of like a get ready with me type of way, and I will also share my thoughts about some of these palettes. So pretty much all of these palettes are not available anymore. I feel like the only palette that is still in store is the Solmane 2 palette. The rest were like limited editions. But I hope this video will still be fun, and hopefully you will see kind of like how you can play with your makeup a little bit differently. So the way that palette bingo works is I always pick one brand of palettes, and I pick 1 or 2 shades from each palette using random number generator. Since I have 6 palettes here with me, I technically have 7, but there's only 2 shades left in the 7th palette. Since we have 6 palettes, I have drawn 1 shade from each palette, and I'm gonna try to come up with a look with all of these. I will shortly show you how I drew all these shades and what these shades are, and then we can get into the makeup part. So here you can see all the eyeshadows that I've picked, and in the meantime I will use my BeautyBay primer and prime my lids. Okay, so I have primed my eyelids, and first we're gonna start with the Somane palette, and the shade that I draw from this palette is the shade Solar. It's this one right here, this kind of like orangey reddish color. So we're gonna start with that. I will just take a fluffy blending brush and I will put that in my crease, and it's gonna be like the main crease shade. So I really love this Solmone palette. It's amazing palette. The shadows, I've had it for like a year now. I think it came out like somewhere at the end of summer last year, and I really love the shades here. I love the pastel-y shades. I love the purples here, and I love the yellowy oranges. I think those are perfect for Halloween and like autumny type of looks. And the mattes are just so easy to blend. They're so soft, so just creamy, and so easy to work with. And the shimmers are very, very pretty, very sparkly, and again really easy to work with and to like put on the eyes. I think the lightest purple and blue shades that are here, like the shimmer shades, these sometimes tend to fall out a little bit, but otherwise it's a really great palette that I like to bring with me to kind of just finish off a look. Or like, I oftentimes use the pastel-y shades here because they're really, really pretty and they're very opaque. So really love this one, and it's a very beautiful, beautiful palette. Then the next palette that we're gonna be using is this Hummingbird palette. I think this one is like 2 years old. It was in collaboration with Fancy Face, and I've drawn this shade, the shade Red Hills, which is kind of like a dark brown shade. I think this is my last time using this palette on my face because I used it yesterday and I didn't love the way it performed. It was kind of, I don't know, the shimmers are extremely clumpy and the mattes are kind of almost waxy. Like they used to be very creamy, but now they're kind of this really weird texture. They're kind of this really weird texture where either it has too much pigment and it's really hard to blend it out, or it has no pigment and when you try to blend it out it just becomes patchy. So I will see if this shade will work. If not, then I guess I'm gonna have to help myself with another palette. So I think I will put this palette next to my nail polishes and I will try to use it on my nails, because that's usually what I do with palettes that no longer really work for me on the eyes. Yesterday I used the blues in this palette and it was just, I've worn the look but it didn't look great. It was kind of patchy and it also kind of lost its pigment throughout the day. So yeah, it's definitely not my favorite palette anymore, which is weird because the Giant Wolves palette doesn't act like this, and they're from the same collection. They came out at the same time, so I don't know what's going on, but yeah, this one just doesn't really perform the best for me. Like right now I'm kind of able to build the shade, even though it's definitely not as pigmented as it is in the pan. Let's see if I will be able to kind of blend it out. And it's definitely like harder to blend out. Like I feel like I'm gonna have a little bit of a streakiness or like patchiness up there because I don't know, they just have a really weird texture at this point and they're not really easy to work with. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to put this palette away after today because I don't think I will be able to use it anymore. I will repeat the same thing on the other eye and then I will come back. Okay, so I finished the other eye and I actually had to help myself with this Merry Christmas palette from last year, and I used this shade Hot Cocoa. Yeah, Hot Cocoa. In the pan they're very similar to each other, but the Hummingbird shade, it lacks pigment and it was really hard to blend, and I wasn't able to build it properly, so I decided that this is gonna be a better option. I mean, the colors are pretty much the same, like the shades are very similar to each other. They both pull kind of more reddish brown, and yeah, I still want to wear this look today, so I decided to cheat a little bit. Not really, just a little bit. I still used the Hummingbird palette, just not as much as I was hoping to. Then the next shade we're gonna use is this shade Bless for the from the Merry Christmas palette. And I don't really love this shade. Let me just prime my eyes with NYX Glitter Primer. I don't really love this shade. I think the reddish and like the purplish colors in this palette aren't my favorite. I pretty much only love the greens and then like the pinks and oranges here, but the red shade and this shade, they're not my favorite, and also the gold shade. They're just, I know I've already talked about it in like every single video where I feature this palette, but they're just not my favorite. And I usually, when I use the Blush shade with this palette, I don't like the way it looks on me. It just kind of pulls really weird. I tried to use it with the red matte, that was Catastrophe. Then I tried to use it with the neutral like brownie colors from this palette. That looked almost okay, but I still didn't really like, I don't know, there's something about that shimmer that just pulls really weird on me, and it just kind of looks, I don't know, it doesn't look good. That's all I'm gonna say. So we're gonna try it today one more time. I usually, if I use this shade, which probably was like 3 or 4 times, I've used it with the other Christmas palette, with the Christmas Eve palette, because it has like blue and purple shadows in it, and when I use it with when I use this shade with it, it's not that bad. So let me try it out. I'm gonna focus it more on the like second half of the eye, because there's gonna be another shimmer that I'm gonna put in my inner corner and kind of the first like half or like the first third of the lid. So let me just try it. I just think like it's very magenta, this particular shade, and I don't really like that color as a color, and I don't like it on my eyes that much anyways. But we're gonna try to see if with the other colors it's gonna look a little bit okay. A little bit more okay. So let me do the other eye. And I don't have problem with the way how this shade performs. It's just that this color is not really a color that I think looks good on me. That's pretty much the only reason why I don't really use it. But as I said, like if I pair it with the other palette, with the Christmas Eve palette, it's not that bad, but it's still not my go-to shade. I will kind of blend it with the matte a little bit. Then the next shade is from the Christmas Eve palette, and it's the shade Snowlight. It's this like yellowy, goldy, extremely sparkly color, and we're gonna put that on my in my inner corner and also in the first like third of the lid. So let me just take a clean brush. And this one is a little bit like chunkier. It has a little bit more of like a bigger particles in it, but it's so sparkly and so pretty. And I thought this placement could look kind of nice because I like purples or pinks with yellow, so I think this could work out good, hopefully. I'm really hoping, because I have to go somewhere today, so I hope I'm not gonna have to redo my eye look. But I don't think this looks that bad. I'm gonna have to add a little bit more and like kind of blend it together better, but I think this could look cute. So let me just finish the other eye. I quite like how these two shimmers look together. I think it's really pretty. It's definitely not a color story that or like a color combination that I've ever done, I think, but I like it. I think it's really fun and cute and a little bit different than what I normally do, which is, it's kind of hard to come up with something new because I do a lot of different colors, and like sometimes I'm genuinely stuck on what else I can do. So that's why I love these kind of challenges and like stuff like that. So now we're gonna take the Giant Wolves palette, this one, and from this one we're gonna use the shade Antipode, which is this like greenish color, kind of like khaki color. I really love this palette. I think it's absolutely beautiful color story. And this one was another collaboration palette. This one was with Annette Oberstadt. And I'm gonna take this green under my eyes on the lower lash line. And I really love this color story. It's definitely very beautiful. I love that it's kind of small palette, but you have like purples and blues and greens here. And like the shimmers are so stunning, and I love the colors and the finishes that she picked for this palette. And now the last shade that we're missing is the is from this Hela palette with Angelica Nyquist, and it's the Golden Bridge shade, which is kind of like yellowy greenish color that goes a little bit like bronzy. So we're gonna use that on our lower lash line. I'm gonna find a brush. I was thinking about using this shade on the lid, but I kind of wanted to try how the yellow would look with the pinky color. So we're gonna just use a little bit of that in the first like half of the lower lash line. And I love the Hela palette. The Hela palette is so beautiful, especially like for spring, summer, but even like outside of that, it has nice like deep colors for like the cooler months. But like especially for summer and spring, I think it's such a beautiful palette. Yeah, I really like it, and the shimmers are just so stunning. I love these type of greenish like goldy shimmers. They always make me super happy. And I actually usually use the shade Fluorescence instead of this shade, because I don't know, I just like more when it goes like yellowish instead of goldy. But this is also a very beautiful shade, and I should probably use it more. Okay, so I think this is kind of how I wanted it to look like. Now I'm just gonna connect the inner corner highlight with this shade a little bit better, and I think we'll be done. So let me put on some mascara and we're gonna finish this video. Okay, so here is the finished look, and I really like it. I think it's really fun. It's something that I haven't done before, which is kind of the purpose of these videos, so I'm very happy. It's very sparkly, it's very colorful, and I love this. I actually really do love this, and I will be happy to wear it today. So let me know if you like these type of videos. Let me know if you like this look, and if you would try to do something like this. And what else? Oh yeah, let me know if you have this hummingbird palette and if yours is also acting kind of strangely. I noticed this a while ago, but I thought it's just some shades, but after using it after using it a couple more times, I think it's the whole palette that it's just going bad, or I don't know, because it definitely acts strangely, and I don't really enjoy using it anymore. So yeah, I will just finish using it on my nails, and then it will just, I don't know, I might actually come up with some space where I could like a shelf or something where I could put my decluttered palettes, you know, like the ones that I still want to keep but I'm not gonna be using them, which will probably be some of these like more limited collections and stuff like that. And then I would put this palette there, but so for now it's gonna be next to my nail polishes, because I'm not gonna really use it on my eyes anymore. I don't think it would turn out good. The mattes are really weird, and the shimmers, they're just really hard to use, and they crease like crazy. So yeah, this one's gonna go, but the rest of them I really love. I love all the different textures and color stories. I haven't bought any new palettes from Oden's Eye this year, but I hope they're gonna come up with something at the end of summer or beginning of autumn. I really hope for that, because I think somewhere around August they released this last year, so I hope there's gonna be another release soon, and hopefully that will be something that will interest me, because this year's releases from Oden's Eye, I don't know, I just wasn't as excited about them, and I also kind of, I think the color stories that they released this year were similar to the ones that I already have from them, so I didn't feel the need to buy something. But I hope either for some nice like autumn collection or Christmas collection maybe, because these Christmas palettes from last year were absolutely amazing, so I hope they're gonna do something like this again, hopefully. And yeah, that's it from me. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this look, and I will be happy to see you in my next video. Hope you have a great day. Bye.